So we're back with the Model P, and yesterday when we were disassembling it, I noticed that the ribbon vibrator on each side here is broken. As you can see, there should be little forks that come up from there. So trying to source one of them online, and while we do that, we're going to continue cleaning. I took the paper tray out. As you can see into the machine a little bit better, and I took the feed rollers. That's the back feed roller. You can see how flat that is, and this is the front feed rollers. So we're going to put new feed rollers on those in another video, but right now we're going to talk about cleaning the machine, and we're going to clean the type slugs. And as you can see in here, these are pretty filthy. 91 years of typing on this. So these type slugs are good shape, but they're just filthy. This whole segment down here is filthy. When I type stuff, some of the keys are sticking a little bit. So we're gonna clean all that out. We're gonna clean all the back of the machine inside here, and I'm gonna prep the machine, and we'll be back and start. So we're back, and we're gonna start cleaning the keys. I do have my compressor running here because I'm gonna be blowing some of the stuff out of this, so I will try to talk over it or stop talking when it kicks on. You'll notice that I've raised all the keys, and I put a rag underneath the all the type slugs, and I'm covering the keys because what I'm going to be using to clean these keys is lacquer thinner. And you want to keep anything that has to do with paint, your keys, anything like that, away from the lacquer thinner, because the lacquer thinner will take off paint. It's very, very strong. I just have it, I use it in a little bottle like this to spray on and scrub off. And we're going to kind of walk through this process now. The other thing that I've done is I went to, I believe it was Target or Walmart or whatever, and I bought a little pan. I'm going to lift the typewriter up and show you. Just a little pan, and I put the typewriter on that so that when I'm using the lacquer thinner and I'm scrubbing stuff, it's not going all over my work area. It goes into the pan, and then I could just dump it out. It's just something simple that works for me. So what we're going to use here is we're going to use any number of brass brushes. I like brass better than the steel ones, and we're just going to take the lacquer thinner. We're going to coat these type slugs here, and we're going to start scrubbing them with the brass brush. And we got 90 some odd years of ink that we're going to be trying to get off. So we're going to do our first pass here, and I usually just take a paper towel and kind of wipe that, and you'll see some of the stuff that comes out of that. And we'll do it again. And I'm also going to put some lacquer thinner down here in the segment to free up any dirt that might be in there. We're going to clean that up later too, but as we're doing the lacquer thinner and we got everything covered, it's a good time to do it all. The other thing that you can find at places like Harbor Freight is they sell little picks, like dental picks. I have some that work really well for getting in and out of certain spots, cleaning up letters like G and O, and in the little places where there's circles where the wire brush doesn't get into. And you can pick those up relatively cheaply. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of scrubbing this. I don't want to go too hard on these. You don't want to, you got a machine that's 91 years old, you don't want to break a type slug off, because you'll probably never end up getting it back soldered on correctly if you do. Now I'm just going to take my air gun and just kind of blow it out. We'll repeat that process again. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see all the ink that's now running down the type bars here from the type slugs that's coming out. And we'll get all these nice and clean, and then we'll focus on doing the rest of the typewriter. And as I said, lacquer thinner is pretty tough, so I wrap this top piece up just in case, you know, you get some overflow or you get some splash on it, and you don't want it to ever get on your paint. These brass brushes you can buy at Home Depot, Harbor Freight, any paint place, and they're pretty cheap also. These little bottles that I use, I put lacquer thinner in them, and I put Marvel Mystery Oil in them and stuff. You can get these at Ace Hardware. They sell them with oil in them. And I just bought, I don't know, they're a couple bucks. I bought a few of them, and I took the oil and just put the oil into a mason jar, and I used the oil, you know, for other things. But these are great to get into little tight spots, little tight places that you can't get into. Do this one more time and hit the segment one more time also. Down in the segment, what happens is a lot of times dirt, grease, and grime, that's key to where your type bars will stick sometimes when you're typing and you say, oh geez, I got a sticky key here and there. It's usually because that's not cleaned out well. So hitting that with some lacquer thinner is not a bad idea. And these are something that, you know, you're not going to be doing it all the time. When you do this cleaning once, first time, it's a good time to do it. And if you have a compressor, I bought a little compressor at Harbor Freight. It's called a Fortress Ultra Quiet, and I really love it. Better than the pancake compressors that they sold or sell, better than some of the other ones I've used over the years, but it's a really cool little compressor. It works really well, and as you can see, it's pretty quiet. It doesn't run too long. So I'm just kind of cleaning out all of the tight bars here while I've got the rags in there and I've got the lacquer thinner. One other word of caution with lacquer thinner is it smells pretty bad, so you could wear a mask and make sure you open a window, because it will it's not good to be breathing it in. So when you're working with this kind of stuff, I strongly advise you to make sure you have a window open and that you wear a mask. So I'm going to blow this out one more time. So now we've wiped all that stuff out. We've blown it out. Got the lacquer thinner. We're pretty much finished with it. I'm going to just zoom in here so you can see what the keys look like. I'm going to actually take my phone off. Okay, we're going to continue cleaning this Royal P now that I've got the type slugs and the keys done. I'm not going to film a lot of it because a lot of it's just tedious work. But I'm going to point out some of the things that I'm going to do. Down in here, where you can see how dirty this is, I'm going to clean very, very vigorously down in here by the mainspring, in the back, the escapement, all underneath it. Anything that's on the side here that's chrome, I'm going to clean the rails. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some lacquer thinner, some simple green in places, and some brushes. And I bought a variety of these long, I think they're called pipe brushes, to get into places, along with Q-tips and some other stuff. So I'm just going to clean all this up, and you know, when I come back and do the next video, I'll show you the difference of how things look, you know, how they look right now, and then how they'll look when we've got it cleaned. Okay, so we're back. I finished doing the innards of the typewriter, so to speak. I'm just going to kind of walk this through and show you the difference, how it looked before Now, I haven't done any chrome yet. I'll talk about that in a second. This is just all the stuff that, you know, interior down here. We went through, cleaned all this out, all the gunk and garbage. It's been in there for 90 some odd years. And you use a lot of Q-tips, some brushes. I use a little Simple Green, some bunch of rags, paper towels, but you'll see how really nice this came out just with a little effort. And people inevitably always ask me the question. They say, why would you bother cleaning inside of a typewriter where no one's going to see? Well, I tell them, I may be the only one in here for the next 90 years, and you know, it's like your car. You want the engine to go good even though you don't see it all the time. So, you know, it helps everything out once you clean stuff up and you get all that junk out of there. I took a look at the vibrator, cleaned all around that. I haven't removed this yet because I haven't gotten a spare one yet, but all of that's done. So all of the inside of the typewriter underneath, I cleaned all that. And now we're going to do chrome and keys next.